Hi, my name is Mary Maines, and welcome to Women's Well. I want to share with you a few thoughts I have today to all the single parents out there. On Mother's Day, I was spending time with my children, and unfortunately, Stuart, my son, their service was having some technical difficulties, and so it ended up being Ashley, my daughter in law, and three of my grandchildren and myself all watching the service together. And that was kind of crazy in and of itself. And about a third of the way in the service, Ashley said, I usually end up just watching the worship service at the end of the day after the kids have gone to sleep. And it gave me incredible insight in the challenges that we're facing right now and worshiping at home. And I love Kids Church and all that we're doing there. But I really started thinking about you single parents and the challenges that you face in doing this, at least at some level on your own. And I think the encouraging part is I was never a single parent when my children were in the home, but I love that God always knows what we're going through and what each of us needs. And I want to just look at two promises of God because I feel like during this time, his promises have been the thing that really have helped me the most. One of the promises that I love is that God will always provide for us. In Philippians chapter 4:19, it says, "And my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus." The great thing about God is he never gives you his leftovers. It says that he will give you out of his riches. I just love that about God. It's his promise that he will meet your needs. And sometimes that's hard to see, certainly in challenging situations. How is God going to do this? But I just think if we really look at God and look at our situation, there are all these incredible blessings in all these ways that God truly does meet our needs. And the other thing I love about God is that he says that he will not leave me or you alone. And in Isaiah chapter 41, verse 13, and this is in the Living Bible, he says, "I am holding you by your right hand. I, the Lord your God, and I say to you, don't be afraid. I am here to help you." I have felt that so many times in my life. I have felt God right there with me. I love to go on prayer walks, and many times I try to envision just walking, holding hands with God, knowing that he is there, he'll protect me, he'll provide for me. I don't have to be afraid. I can trust that he will always be with me and carry me through those times. And there's something incredibly calming and peaceful in my life when I think about how God is there for me. It gives me comfort. It gives me strength to know that. And so I think of you single parents honestly as heroes to me. Heroes of what you're trying to do. Heroes of raising children to love God. And yet also working and being a disciple and striving to be your best. And I love the Proverbs 31. Of course, we've all heard of it, but in 25, it says she's clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. And I want to introduce you to my friend, Dawn Nettles, because she was a single parent for many years, but she's also a great example of Proverbs 31. I give you Dawn.
Hi, I'm Dawn Nettles, and I was asked to share with you about a time in my life where I was a single mom and just some of the lessons that I learned during that time. So I was a single parent for about 8 years, from see, my youngest was 18 months, my middle one was 6, and my oldest one was 9. And that was until they were 10, 12, and 17. So the biggest thing that I remember was fear. I was always afraid. I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to support them financially. I was afraid that that I would somehow mess them up. I was afraid that I alone wouldn't be enough to help them to grow into these amazing individuals that I envisioned when they were born. So first of all, financially, I was put in a position initially that the girls and I needed to live with family. That was pretty humbling. We didn't really have our own space. It was borrowed space. Then I needed to go back to work. I had been a stay-at-home mom, so I hadn't worked for a little while. And so I went back to work, and I barely made, I made a little bit over minimum wage, which was super challenging. So I was like, how is this going to work? So eventually we had our own space. We had our own place to live, and I was able to get a grant from a nonprofit for childcare to help with Jessica when she was little. And then when Jessica went to elementary school, the girls were at 3 different schools: elementary school, middle school, and high school. And our district had, we were on year-round school, which means they have 4 breaks. And I do not know why they were like this, but they were all in different breaks, all 3 of the schools. So as a single parent who's driving them all, it takes about an hour to get to work. An hour to get to drop each of them off at school and then get to work. And then, and to have these breaks was crazy. I remember feeling so stressed out when the breaks were coming, thinking, oh my gosh, how is this going to work? What am I going to do so that they are captivated and having fun? What's good for them? And how much is it going to cost? And how am I going to afford it? And oh my gosh, I just remember it being stressful. But anyway, so one of the things too is I remember just having dreams for my kids. I had dreams for them to grow up into these wonderful young ladies who were honest and hardworking, who loved God, who trusted God, who were caring and compassionate toward other people and not arrogant. And I remember feeling like, how in the world am I going to do this? How am I going to make this happen? And just really praying about that. Well, so I looked around me and saw all these amazing resources, these families who were loving, who were so great with their kids. And so what I did is I invited them into my home, and I invited the girls and I into their home. I basically just tried to tap into the resources that I had to supplement what I felt like I wasn't able to give them. And it was super, super helpful, and it helped me to be more confident. So I know that those of you who are single moms, or have been single moms at one time, you know how the finances and the energy, those resources are limited, and it's super challenging to give beyond or to envision yourself giving beyond what you're able to. I remember looking in Proverbs 31 and reading about this woman in verse 25 that says, she's clothed with strength and dignity, and she can laugh at the days to come. And I was thinking, clothed with strength and dignity, that's confidence. That woman had confidence. And then a laugh at the days to come. I certainly did not laugh at the days to come. I worried. And I remember thinking, I love this woman. I want to be like this woman. I want to be confident and know that whatever I have to give is going to take care of the girls. It's going to be enough. And that I want to be able to laugh at the days to come, and knowing that God's going to take care of us. I'm going to work hard and do the best that I can do. And that's all I have. And I love that. That woman still inspires me. I want to be able to always laugh at the days to come. So the bottom line is, fast forward 10 years, my little women are amazing. They've all landed well. They're beautiful, amazing young ladies who are honest, hardworking, resourceful, and they love God. And none of us are perfect, but we're all heading in the right direction. When things were really, really tricky, I felt like I couldn't see any way out. But the cool thing is with faith, you don't have to see your way out. So even now, I remember what I did and I still do it. I just close my eyes and I can hear that Proverbs 31 woman laughing. I love that laugh. So I want to challenge you when you're in difficult situations, if you're a single parent, or even not a single parent, close your eyes and listen to that confident woman's laugh who's clothed with strength and dignity. So I hope this was helpful to you. Have a good night.